I call Porter Williams.
Mr Chair, there's very little that David Bennett would motivate me to do, but in this case, sir, I'm motivated to encourage that member to correct the Hansard about the comment he made about the Labour Party members who may or may not have voted against the Marriage Equality Bill. Mr Bennett, I can give you the list if you would care to stand up and correct the Hansard given your speech.
I'll correct the Hansard that last member because
that's not a point. Member will sit. That's not a point of order. That's interrupting the speaker.
Thank you.
Williams.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Because we all know that David Bennett is prone to some fantastical ideas, and with this regard, he is still on the money. Mr. Chairman, I come from a place called Christchurch. There's something in that name that will signal where I'm going to head with this particular contribution, because I spend many of my Sundays attending services around my electorate of Christchurch East. Many people in my electorate choose to spend their Sunday mornings and a large part of their Sunday days in observance of their faith. And I often attend services all across my electorate. There are many people in my particular electorate who choose to use Sunday as a day of rest, a day of fellowship, a day of sharing and gathering with other members of their faith to have some time together. And they probably will in the afternoon, they may even choose to go shopping, but their first observance is to their faith on a Sunday. Not only am I a member that represents a constituent who has a high population of faith-based communities, I'm also a member of the Pacific Island community. And it is to my distress that I see members on the other side of the House who are of my Pacific community who are not able to enact what they believe they should do. It may be an assumption, according to Minister Wagner, it may be an assumption, but I know, because I have had conversations with those two Pacific members about the depth of their conviction to their faith. So it's very sad when we get to the point where government policy overrides the intrinsic value and beliefs of an individual member. This should be a conscience vote. And I know that if it was a true conscience vote, that those two Pacific members on the other side of the House there would be voting against this legislation, because they are members of a community that has faith at the heart of everything they do. And after the faith comes the family. So you cannot tell me that this government is not whipping their members to vote completely for their bill. And it causes me distress to know that my Pacific brothers in the National Party cannot vote the way their true conscience would want them to do. That's right. Mr. Chairman, the other thing that this government has decided to do is to push to abdicate its responsibility around this very, very important issue onto our local authorities, onto territorial local authorities. It's up to them to deal with this in a way to develop local policy and bylaws on this particular issue. So we've pushed the responsibility onto our local authorities. They are the ones that are going to have to engage in the public consultation. They are the ones that are going to have to do the hard work on this particular matter. And there may be some TLAs that choose that their communities choose, like what is quite likely my community in Christchurch East, or a Pacific community. They may choose, actually, you know what, we're going to go with what we truly believe, which is We want to ensure that Easter Sunday remains as it should. Thank you.